God, I think I'd be sick.
Why? Did you not save it? Did you not record it?
I did, but for some reason, only 6 seconds is recorded.
Are you kidding?
No.
Luckily, I record on clean feed, but it's not going to be as good quality.
Why has that not happened? Who introduced last time? I've forgotten.
It was you.
So you're hosting.
Yes. Wasn't prepared for that mentally. Get your head in the game, Michael. Okay, can we have a couple of seconds of silence? This silence is now turning into me trying to think how to introduce this week's. I feel like you got to mix it up a bit, haven't you? Don't want the same things every week. Because I realised I hadn't scripted it, and then I listened back to 2 of them, and I said almost the exact same things both times.
But do you know what? I don't think I mind that for the first bit, because the bit afterwards is always unscripted and different.
It's very true.
I put on a podcast from Kind of Funny, and as it was buffering, I just turned to Shauna and went, "What's up, everybody?" And she looked like I was an idiot. And then literally, that's exactly how because he always starts his thing with that.
Okay.
So, like, I don't know, there's almost like a comfort, you know what I mean? Familiarity in it.
Okay, I got it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mammoth. Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to the Mammon Podcast, a podcast where me and Mike go through our two personal top 5s. That's not quite right, is it?
That's technically right.
But a bit more than 2.
Our 2 top 5s, though, or both our top 5s is what it should be.
Yeah. I'm no good at these sort of things. Right, hold on.
Do you want me to introduce?
No, I got this, Mike. Slam down my pen in frustration now. Hello and welcome to Mammon, the only podcast where you can listen to 2 mics on mic discussing their own personal top 5s. In the past, we've had our childhood video games, documentaries, and now this week we're on to the top 5 Romcoms. Now I'd like to introduce you to my co-host. It's Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike. How are you today?
Yeah, not bad.
Good. You ready for Romcoms?
Yeah, I thought this was going to be a much easier topic than it was, and then I realised all the films I've picked, I obviously like, so they're in my top 5, but then I thought I liked rom-coms more than I did, and it made me realise rom-coms are like an easy Sunday film.
Oh, definitely.
But there's none that I've gone, this is not just top 5 rom-com, this could be in my top 5 films or anything like that. Which isn't a problem, so I still think they're all enjoyable, definitely recommended. I think most people have seen all of mine.
There are some really bad ones, though. Lauren, I don't think she put it on purpose, but I think it was on Channel 5 the other day, and she just kept it on. And I really hope it's not on one of your top 5. But started watching Made in Manhattan.
Seen it?
Yeah, it's an awful film. Yeah, I did not enjoy it.
I mean, like I say, I don't know. I don't think I would have put it in my top, but
thank God. I know you're changing your list right now.
Whoops.
No, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't care for Jennifer Lopez's acting in it, and the ridiculous scenario as well. But I suppose rom-coms need a semi-ridiculous scenario to get a plot, because otherwise it's just boy meets girl, boy falls in love with girl, or girl meets boy and girl falls in love with boy. Or they both fall in love with each other, otherwise it's a bit unrequited love. But
by the way, if you wonder why I went a bit quiet, I just changed my number 1 choice.
Oh, is it
and
Made in Manhattan?
You know how I said that none of my films could go in my top 5?
Yeah.
This could have done.
Okay.
I just forgot about it until right now. And I think maybe I'll talk about it more when I get to it, but it's maybe not a traditional rom-com, but it's definitely romantic tones.
So I'm going to say it now. I don't think mine...
Ooh.
What was that?
That was a stone cup holder that's now just broken. That was scary.
Oh shit! Do you need time to sort that out?
No, I'm all right.
You sure?
Yeah, the show goes on.
That's commitment. Yeah, I don't think any of mine. Well, some of them are. I think traditional rom-coms are the wrong words. When you think traditional rom-com, I don't know. I'm thinking of films like Pretty Woman. I can't think of any others off the top of my head. That's what I'd consider like a traditional rom-com. But
okay, what's traditional about it?
I don't know. It just feels like almost a classic, per se. I think that's probably the better word, a classic rom-com.
Do you know what? The more I thought about it, rom-com as a genre is so vague, but I feel like all genres are bullshit. You know what I mean? You look at so many films that are really, there's 4 or 5 genres within that. Like, Maze Runner has so many sort of like horror conventions in there, but
Yeah.
it's dystopian. But then some people argue that's young adult or sort of teenage sort of film. Like, I think it's all about marketing, really. I think genres are more about getting an audience in.
Yeah.
I don't think there's that many films now or books that necessarily really lean into, okay, this is the genre we are, and we're committing to that. I think they all try and bring in lots of different elements.
Yeah, there's one that I've bumped down now to my, again, changing mine at the last minute. I changed mine just before the episode. I bumped one down to my honourable mentions, and that's got 4 different, well, actually, I'd say 5 different genres, in which romance and comedy are one of them. So it's technically a rom-com in that regard, but I don't think people would consider it to be a rom-com when they think about it.
That's why one of my honourable mentions is an honourable mention, not an actual choice.
Yeah. Right, should we get down to the nitty-gritty?
Let's do it.
Right, so number 5, what have you chosen?
Well, this, I think, is weird because, again, it's marketed in that, like you say, traditional, almost like Pretty Woman rom-com, where I feel like it was aiming for, like, particularly in the era it came out with, a sort of a female audience. But actually, it was quite clearly totally written by a guy, because this is, I think, almost like a male teenage fantasy.
Okay.
And that's, I think we've all dreamt or had a daydream where we meet this attractive celebrity we fancy in a normal like scenario, and they fall in love with us, partly because we're normal, sort of to escape their sort of maybe celebrity lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, wasn't it? Like, how cool would it be if, I took my girlfriend to the pub and it turned out to be this like world-renowned actress, singer, whatever. So
I think this is one that I would call a classic rom-com.
Yeah, and I think as well, because of the other classics that they've done,
yeah,
it had to be on there. So I have gone for Notting Hill.
Yeah,
which I think it was a perfect first choice for number 5 to start this off, because it's written by Richard Curtis, who's obviously done things like, is it 5 Weddings and a Funeral?
5 Weddings and a Funeral, About
Love
Time.
Actually.
It's not Love Boat, Something Boat, Don't Rock the Boat.
The Boat
the Rock, that's it, yes.
Yeah, it's got Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts, so 2 classic, sort of rom-com actors. And yeah, like I say, it took on that sort of, I think, male fantasy of this guy who just works in a bookshop and he's just a normal guy. And this
I was literally about to say, the whole male fantasy, is it you as well being a proper book lover? Was that side of it also a big quirk for you?
Yeah, I guess so. Do you know, the irony is I only watched it in my first time in my 20s as well. I seem to remember it being really popular growing up, and people say one of the classic films you've got to watch. And I think because of that, I was like, no, I won't like it because it's popular, because I was an edgy dick of a 15-year-old.
Oh, I used to do that sort of thing all the time though. But yeah, no, it's a great film though. I've not seen it for a very long time. I've definitely watched it within the last 5 years, but it is brilliant, and great range of British actors in there, as you'd expect from a Richard Curtis film. Yeah, definitely. And I don't know, it's just, for me, that it has, maybe it leans in more to it leans more maybe into the drama. It takes itself a bit more seriously than rom-coms. I think sometimes rom-coms can be a bit slapstick and a bit silly, and I'm not saying there's not a place for that. Obviously, they're popular. But I think I liked this because it sort of took itself seriously in a way, in what was really quite a silly idea. So yeah, I think I enjoyed that because you could sort of lose yourself in the film a little bit. And like you say, I almost forgot that it was a comedy and romance, and more watched it for a drama, I'd say. Yeah. Well, Julia Roberts herself has been in plenty of rom-coms. So she said, but in fact, the 2 leads, they are like rom-com heroes, really. The amount of rom-coms that they've been in is insane. So pairing the 2 together just works perfectly. And Hugh Grant's one of those actors who just plays himself, I think, predominantly. And I think because he does it so well, it works. He doesn't need to try other things. Although I've read an interview that he says he feels like sort of Richard Curtis did that to him, if you know what I mean, because the films he was in. Yeah, and then that typecast him for other films, so he struggled to get in more serious roles. So I've not watched it, but that's one of the reasons he was desperate to do I think it's called The Undoing, a TV show he did. Yeah. Because he wanted to take a I'd love to hear. Have you not seen it either? No, I've not seen it. I'd love someone to comment
on Facebook or Twitter, Mammon Podcast at Twitter or on Facebook, or email us at mammonpodcast@hotmail.com.
Yeah.
With if they've seen him doing it, and does because he said he's not playing Hugh Grant, and obviously I know it's a bit more serious, so he won't be the Hugh Grant of Notting Hill and things. But is he still just Hugh Grant? I'd like to think that he still couldn't escape it himself.
Haven't seen little clips from, like, say, Gogglebox. I think he has escaped it, but he still plays that. I don't know. You still see him in that role, unfortunately, because he has been typecast for so long. Like, when I was watching it, I was just like, "What's Hugh doing? Like, he doesn't do this sort of thing." But maybe that's I don't know. But I think it's because he has been in these roles for so long. It's shocking to see him do something else. You almost don't not respect it. That's the wrong word, but you don't appreciate it as much per se.
Yeah, well, he did a half decent rom-com called The Rewrite, where he plays a writer who had one book that did well, and he's never been able to write anything since. Or is it a film? He might be a script writer, and then he goes and teaches that at a university in America, and he's meant to be this sort of jaded ex-writer who doesn't really want the gig he's got, but he has to make a bit of money.
Yeah,
and I felt that clearly must have like resonated with him. Like, yeah, that's how I feel. Like this jaded actor who's always known for one role and he wants to break out. And I was like, the irony is you've become Hugh Grant playing Hugh Grant almost in it.
Well, I feel like you could write a whole bit on we could do a top 5 on rom-coms of Hugh Grant.
Yeah, definitely.
There's so many. Just having a look here. About a Boy, Love Actually, Bridget Jones 1 and 2, Music and Lyrics, American Dreams, Four Weddings. It's just
what's that one that he says ended his career pretty much? Was it Sarah Michelle Gellar? No, not Sarah Michelle Gellar. Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, was it 2 Weeks Notice? Is that a film?
No, that one did well. Let me find it. I can't remember what it's about now. Did you hear about the Morgans? That's it.
Oh, yes.
He said he couldn't get a call back, couldn't get a direct, he couldn't get in a audition for years after that. It absolutely ruined his career.
Actually, when you go on IMDb, that was in 2009, and he didn't get anything afterwards until 2012. And one of those was Cloud Atlas, so quite a different sort of route for him.
Yeah, I think he really struggled after that. I think he said it killed him as a leading man, as a romantic lead in these types of films. No one wanted to touch him after that because of how dreadful the film was. And how
what brought him back, though, was Paddington 2, because that is genuinely a brilliant film, and he plays the villain so well. So, yeah. Good choice. Cool. Strong choice. Like it.
Okay, time for your first.
I'm really worried this is a not obscure one, but because it's definitely not obscure, but I think it might be a bit obscure for some people. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of Kevin Smith films.
Yeah.
And he did a rom-com with Ben Affleck, and I'm not on about that awful Jersey Girls. He did one called Chasing Amy. Yeah,
I've heard loads about it. I've never watched any of the Clerks films.
So I love the Clerks films. I'm not a big fan of Jay and Silent Bob. I think it's sort of the humour's gone a bit too far for me. It's too crude. But I think Clerks and Dogma, Chasing Amy, Mallrats, it keeps it a bit more level-headed. However, saying that, Chasing Amy, I originally, in my head, had as number 3. I then rewatched every single one of the rom-coms I've selected, and I bumped it down to number 5, just because I feel the time it was made in 1997, some of the words that they used don't quite fit in my head now. It's not as PC as it should be. But basically the plot is about a comic book artist, Ben Affleck, who falls in love with a woman, like the idea of her to begin with, and then he realises that she's a lesbian. But he tells... It's that classic trope, man falls in love with lesbian.
Yeah.
But
and again, it's that male fantasy almost, isn't it? You could be the person that turned them, like that's possible.
Well, that's kind of what happens.
Choice.
So he tells her...
No.
He tells her that he loves her, and she gets so angry. And the whole time, you're thinking that really Ben Affleck he's the main focus of the story and everything, but actually he is a massive turd. Like, he is not the hero of this story. It's Joey Lauren Adams who plays Alicia Jones, and she plays it so well. And every time she has a massive rant about anything, she is so in the right. So after Ben Affleck's character tells her that he loves her, she's like, "How dare you? What gives you the right to be telling that to me?" But then they do eventually sleep together and form a relationship. But she's sort of like unsure about the whole thing, and he's always looking at her past, the fact that she was lesbian, and can't get over the fact of that either. And it causes a lot of tension in their friendship and relationship. And it is actually a really nice story when you watch it. But it's also quite, I think it's a bit dated, but it is also a brilliant story. Yeah.
Well, spoiler alert, if you're wanting to watch Chasing Amy based on this recommendation, then skip ahead a bit or take your headphones out. Just quickly, does he end up with her at the end?
No. So he's his friend, played by Jason Lee, doesn't like it and digs up dirt about Alicia Jones, and eventually Ben Affleck, he hears a story from Silent Bob, who tells this story about how he was in a relationship but couldn't get past his girlfriend's sort of sexual exploits from previous, and he sort of let that get to him so much she got away from him, and he's always been sort of, her name was Amy, and he's always been chasing Amy, so to speak, like in his head, like that's the girl who got away, and every girl is sort of trying to follow that.
Yeah.
But in the end, Ben Affleck's character suggests a threesome between Alicia Jones and Banky Edwards, who's played by Jason Lee. Doesn't go down well in the slightest. She's not happy with it, and says that the proposal's offensive and leaves. Year later, they sort of meet up again at a comic book convention, and it's sort of like, you can tell that the relationship sort of passed, and they're sort of congratulating each other over the success of their comic books that they're writing. And it's just a nice moment, and that's really it. There's no more to it than that. It is like, there's no happy ending per se about that bit. They don't get together in the end, but it made them both realise, actually, we need to be who we are and not try and pretend to be these people.
So it has sort of that sort of moral message almost.
I'm trying to find, there was a quote that a famous person says, and I think it's quite good. That was it. So Robert Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave it 3.5 out of 4 stars, saying, while on this...
Wait! They rate things out of 4 stars?
And then give them half. Yeah, how weird's that?
So it's technically a rating out of 8. Fuck, I hate that.
But yeah, so he says, while on the surface of his film sparkles with sharp, ironic dialogue, deeper issues are forming, and Chasing Amy develops into a film of touching insights. Most romantic comedies place phony obstacles in the way of true love, but Smith knows that at some level there's nothing funny about being in love. And that's what I quite like about it. It's like, sometimes you can't help your feelings.
I mean, I feel like if you're a lesbian, you can sort of... it's clues in the title. You're not going to fall in love with Ben Affleck.
No, it is a genuinely good film, but unfortunately, because I didn't agree with some of the language that was being done. But the whole Banky Edwards is portrayed as this. It's implied that he's actually gay himself.
Right.
So the bigoted language that he's using is like his suppression of it all.
But yeah, it doesn't hold up well.
It doesn't hold up well in my head, some of it. But it's like I say, still an entertaining film. I'd still recommend it to people because you can't hide from the past and the language that we use. As I think we've said in previous episodes, you got to sort of move forwards from the way that we used to be and learn from those things. And this is a good film to do that with.
Well, going on Chicago's bullshit rating system, out of 7 mammons, how many mammons would you give this film?
I'd give it 5.5.
That's a lot of mammons.
It is.
Okay. Moving on to... Are we on number 4 now?
Well, shall we introduce it nicely?
Okay.
Right, so that's our top 5 picks done. Shall we move on to your number 4 choice?
Let's do it. This one, talking of this idea of genres being sort of melded, I think I like this one because it has a sort of... I guess I'd say it's fantasy rather than sci-fi element to it. And I feel like... the time travel element it introduces becomes as interesting, if not more interesting, than the sort of romance and comedy side of it. So that is, and you've already mentioned it, it's another, I didn't realise it was Richard Curtis, but it's another Richard Curtis film, About Time.
Lovely. I thought it was a Richard Curtis. Yeah, I've just Googled it. It is. I've never actually watched this one, but it's always been one on my wish list of films to watch.
Yeah,
so...
if you're watching this and you don't like rom-coms because it's a bit too cheesy, it's a bit too on the nose, a bit like, sounds like Chasing Amy almost. I think a rom-com's being used to sell this idea, but the actual film looks at bigger issues. And this idea of like consequences and playing with time and the influence that can have and the butterfly effect. Like there's, I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but there's a moment where he goes back in time to spend more time with someone who he's lost, and then that affects his things that happen in the future. So he comes back and a character is not the same character that he had before because he's gone back, he's changed something, and that sort of butterfly effect has changed a young character to not be the same young character that he'd known for the last few years.
Can I just say, I know the butterfly effect is a concept and everything, but the film The Butterfly Effect with Ashton Kutcher, what a great film that was.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And anyway, I love that it had multiple endings as well.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
So yeah, I think it's just nice. It's got, I think the comedies, again, it's a bit subtler than some of the more slapstick sort of comedies. I think Bill Nighy is just brilliant in it, like as this sort of cool dad.
Oh, he is a cool dad. If you're ever going to have a dad, you'd want it to be. If you're ever going to want a dad, everyone's got a dad.
Did your dad listen to this as well?
He listens. He says he's going to pick and choose.
Well, Mr. Ellingham, turns out he's your least favourite child. You can put him third on the list now because he wants to replace you.
But Dad,
Bill Nighy.
I'd rather you be Bill Nighy.
Rachel McAdams is really good in it, and Domhnall Hall Gleeson, who I think was in Harry Potter.
He played
Percy for a few films.
Was it Percy? He was one of the older ones. He was also General Hux in Star Wars.
No, he was Bill.
Was he Bill?
Yeah, and he was in Black Mirror. He's got some really cool credits.
Oh yeah, he's a brilliant actor.
Yeah, and like I say, it's fun, it's quirky, and I think that, I don't know, I've always loved that time travel trope. I think it's overdone, but it's great, you know.
I think we've said it before with my Back to the Future choice, which if you haven't watched Top 5 films, go back and listen to now. If done right, time travel can be really good. Sometimes it's not quite done right and it doesn't work and you just sit there picking holes in it. But as long as it's done right, it's really good.
But I think what's great about it as well is time travel as a concept is complex. It is difficult to understand. But we've all seen so many films on it that it's no longer complex. Like, that's what I love about this about time. And they introduce it and they have that sort of that exposition moment where, he sits down and explains time travel to his son, but really it's to the audience. They don't really need to that much, and they sort of gloss over it because it's like, no, the audience has seen enough time travel films now. We don't need to spend time and time again. So like I say, like some of the issues of, because that's always the big thing about time travel, isn't it? It's like it starts off, this is cool, and then it always tries to explore, okay, what would be the repercussions of actually having this power? And again, About Time doesn't have to hit you on the nose on it. You can visibly show that through decisions we know enough about. Oh no, he's fucked up here.
Yeah. He
doesn't need to sit down and say, oh no, this has all happened because I've caused X in the time-space continuum, which has caused this ripple effect. Like we know about it now. We know what's happening, and I think that makes these time travel films easy because they don't have to explain everything to us anymore because we've seen enough of them.
Yeah. No, it's one that, like I say, I do want to go out and watch at some point. I'm annoyed I've not watched it because I've just seen this was out in 2013. I've had 7-8 years now to go and watch this. There's no excuse at this point.
Well, I rewatched it about a year ago, and like what I love about seeing films, obviously it's not old. What is it, 7-8 years old? But like old in the terms of like films, isn't it? Landscape.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that Margaret Robbie? And then I went on IMDb. I was like, yeah, that's such a random like.
I love it when you pick
role.
up on people that turn out to be big actors in early days.
Yeah, and I think that's what's great about it. Is like, you look through them, you're like, shit, this has got so many good actors in. And I've mentioned before, sometimes I struggle with British films and shows because I find like American films and shows are generally speaking a bit more over the top. So I'm not looking for high quality acting. Whereas with English shows, I can really tell the difference between really good actors and the really, sort of the EastEnders actors where it's like, you almost cringe a bit listening to them talking. You're like, oh, this is so bad. Like, you've just taken me out of the film.
There's a reason that like Ian Beale's only ever been in been in EastEnders. Sorry.
Do you know what though? I'd love to see him in like a Scorsese film or something. Like, can we campaign for that? Is there a campaign website where we can set this up.
That'd be amazing. Fun fact, by the way, did you know Little Mo from EastEnders?
Is Little Mo old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Little Mo. Big Mo. Little Mo's the small one, obviously. Big Mo.
Oh, maybe. I'll Google it as you talk.
But that's it makes more sense if you know who she is, to be fair. It's more of an interesting fact then.
Big Mo. Yeah. Not really.
Oh, well. But those who do know who she is, that's actually Gary Oldman's sister. And that must
Is
be
it?
Yeah, it must be really awkward around the dinner table because one's literally a big award-winning actor. I don't think he's ever... Did he win an Oscar for Darkest Hour? I think he did. And one of them's Little Mo from EastEnders. Not Little Mo, Big Mo. I keep saying Little Mo. Big Mo from EastEnders.
Nice.
I love little facts like that.
I know. Obviously a creative family.
Yeah.
So let's hear your number 4, Michael Ellingham.
Yeah, so on the topic of seeing actors that end up becoming big actors, just Googling this person, she's only really been in 2 films that I'd consider big before this, and that's The Hole and Star Wars Episode 1, and that's Keira Knightley in Bend It Like Beckham.
What a film.
Yeah. So when I was younger, for some reason, I saw it far too many times as a kid at the cinema. But it's just a great film. It's really enjoyable. Like, as everyone listening to this is probably aware now, I'm not massively into football or anything, but that doesn't make this any less of a good film. It really is just one of the... I can't think of any other great romantic comedy sport. Actually, Wimbledon. I can think of one other great romantic comedy sports film, but this was the original in my eyes and the best. So for those who don't know about it, it's about a Indian girl who wants to play football, but obviously her parents don't want her to. They want her to find a nice Indian man and settle down and get married. But she just wants to play football, and that's what she wants in life. And it's just about challenging the expectations of what these women should have to do in life. Like, speaking as a white British male, I can't really speak for their side of it, but I believe it really challenged what they're sort of having to do in their life. That makes sense?
Yeah, kind of. Well, I think as well what's great about this film, though, to sort of build on what you just said, Britain's a really multicultural society, and this was the first time I saw maybe some of the issues, like the realistic issues of maybe what people would face, like from different societies growing up.
Yeah.
Like, I think when you're young, you don't sort of notice it as much, do you? You have to
No,
be
definitely
ignorant
not.
to it. And like you say, so it's great to get a different perspective on it, isn't it?
Yeah, and I really liked, obviously, they went down women's football route, and it sort of like picked a few different sort of unexpected scenarios back in the time as well. Like, it wasn't really that big women playing football, and women's football wasn't as big back then. So it sort of like played on that, but actually did a really good job of representing different cultures and everything like that. Really, really love it.
Do you know what, as well, from like a sort of more modern point,
Go on.
it was great because I always stuck with me, just sort of like general knowledge that maybe I didn't really know much about women's football before this film. But this idea that, America was the only way if you wanted to really make money, make a career out of it.
Yeah, they went to Santa Clara University to get their scholarships.
And then now, in more modern football with the Women's Super League, you get in like professional teams like Man United have just sort of reintroduced their women's team. They got promoted to the Premier League. They're doing really well. And then you get in British clubs like Chelsea, Man City, and they're buying American sort of superstar players, World Cup winners, and bringing them to England to play in our league. So, where before all the best British talent had to go abroad to make a career, now they're not only able to stay in England, we're able to bring international talent to England into women's football. And I think that's amazing. Yeah,
no, I'd agree with that.
Because, what was it, less than 20 years ago, was it? 18 years ago the film came out.
Yeah, 2002.
I bet back then, you would have thought it would never happen if you were a female footballer, whereas now... And I bet that inspired a generation of young girls who like football, who then were, actually, yes, we can do it. Look at this film as a, hold it up as an example of that, you can do it, you can make something.
It definitely brought it a lot more into the public eye in that respect for a lot of young women who might have wanted to be doing it in the past, but were sort of unsure about doing it.
Do you want to know what my favourite trivia thing about this ever? I don't know exactly, so you'll have to correct me because I bet you've got this written down already.
Go on.
But it was like the first Western comedy or something to be released in North Korea.
Yes, I did read that. I haven't got that written down, but I read it while while researching about this film. Yeah, it was. When I saw that, I was like, "That's insane."
I just like to think that the North Korean sort of leader watched it, like shed a tear. It was like, "This is beautiful. My people need to see this."
Here we are, North Korean broadcast to mark the 10th anniversary of North Korea's relations with the United Kingdom, and the edited version of Bend It Like Beckham was broadcast on North Korean state television on the 26th of December 2010. It was the first ever Western-made film to air on television in North Korea.
That's cool. What I seem to remember being a little bit frustrating, I mean, it's not the end of the world at all, but obviously it was called Bend It Like Beckham. Everyone's obsessed with Beckham. And then at the end, I'm pretty sure it's not Beckham.
This annoys me as well, yeah. They're like, oh my god, it's Beckham and Posh. But yeah, it's not. They're lookalikes. And it's like, yeah, I don't understand. Because they got, at the beginning, they got John Barnes, Alan Hansen, and Gary Lineker in to do little cameos. Why couldn't they got Beckham? Like, it was the height of Beckham mania.
Yeah, I'd like to. I wonder if there's surely you'd think the production company reached out and said, "Look, make a film about you. Would love just to have you on in for 10 seconds."
Yeah, It's literally just a walk in the airport, which I bet he's doing all the time. Nice,
I like that. Okay, so Bend It Like Beckham is your number 4. Good choice. I hate myself a little bit for not picking it.
Yeah, I didn't realise it was really. So I don't know if you've ever seen The Hole. It's a great film, but it's not really a big film or anything.
Yeah, I have seen it actually.
It's quite a good film, but it's not famous or anything.
No, it was like a bit of a British indie film, wasn't it?
And obviously Star Wars, she had quite a big part in it, but not a big part because it wasn't really her, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Her character was a big part.
Yeah.
But she physically wasn't.
Yeah. But obviously Bend It Like Beckham was the film that got her into the public eye.
Nice.
Yeah. Right, should we go with your number 3 choice then?
Yes, I don't know if you've seen this one. I remember going to cinema to watch this, and I always know I like a film when I come out and I go, I'd actually want to pay for another ticket and go see that again. I want to do a back-to-back repeat showing of it because I enjoyed it so much.
That's always a good sign.
And this one is a book adaptation that changed the title of the book. The title of the film is called Love, Simon. Have you seen this one?
I haven't, but I've heard good things about it, and I know they're doing a sequel to it on Disney.
Yeah. I think they might already have it in America. Maybe it's already out in America.
Yeah, it's a TV show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, it's about a character called Simon that's in high school in America, and he's gay. He knows he's gay, but he's not told anyone. He's not told his friends or his family. And he's decided he's going to sort of come out when he's at college. That idea of, you go to university or college and you can sort of remake yourself, can't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're quiet in high school or secondary school, you can go to university and you can be a bigger character. People don't know who you were. So Love, Simon, that was in this film. That's sort of his idea. And he starts emailing someone at school who's also gay, but they're not using their real names, they're using code names. So I think the person he fancies calls himself, signs off as Blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what his sign-off is. But yeah, so they're talking, then it's quite interesting then, because it's sort of like a mystery, like it's as he goes round and talks to people at school, he's trying to figure out who this person could be that he likes. So I think that element's really interesting.
It sounds intriguing, actually.
But as well, what's really good is his secret comes out. So before we find out who Blue is, that's the sort of mystery right till the end. People at school find out he's gay, and he doesn't have control of that. Someone who's sort of jealous releases that about him, sort of a bit annoyed with him at one point to sort of punish him, and it's as well like quite a big thing, isn't it? About you've taken away what's a really big moment for him. To me, he's not been able to control the situation, and he has to sort of deal with the backlash. Because actually, I think what's interesting about this one is, I think almost a sort of a gay trope in films and TV is the idea that they tell their friends, their friends treat them differently, and almost be, I don't know, that sort of homophobia that comes through. Whereas this is the opposite. His characters, rather than be, or sometimes it's over the top, everyone's like, oh my God, I'm so supportive, it's amazing. Whereas in this case, his friends fall out with him, not because he's gay, but because he kept it from them. They're insulted, like, you didn't think we'd accept you. And I think that's a really nice twist of, like...
Yeah, that is. That's very different.
He built it up. He's almost being punished for keeping his secret. Whereas he thought he might lose his friends and things like that. They're more annoyed that, I can't believe you didn't trust me with this.
Yeah, because at this day and age, it's not a taboo in the slightest, is it?
I think there's still homophobia around, so I think it's... I can understand that fear, but 100% there's not... I only found out that it was still illegal to be gay in Scotland up until the 80s, which is...
That's insanely late.
That's insanely late, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
No.
So yes, it's not like it's illegal, but so I think that's nice because it takes a more modern view of it, and it does. I don't know. It's not just like here's a feel good story on it, or here's an overly dark dramatization of it. It sits somewhere in the middle and felt like, I don't know. I'm like, that feels like what I'd imagine it might feel like in his situation. I could really empathise with his character situation, and I think what's great about it as well is it's a typical sort of, there's a lot of high school rom-com beats, but at no point really was I'm like, okay, this is a film about someone who's gay. Like, it just felt like a rom-com, if you know what I mean. The fact he was gay, although obviously it is part of the storyline, because he wasn't a caricature of a... say the word for me.
Caricature.
There we go. Of a gay character. Like it sometimes also can be... he was just a normal high school kid. He didn't, him being gay wasn't his identity. His identity was his personality, which is the way it should be. So it never felt like it was a film about someone who's gay. It just felt like a rom-com.
Yeah.
And I think that was really powerful in that sense. And I think that's one that I'm like, I think a lot of young people, or all young people, should watch this film, because I think it's important that we're able to see sort of maybe more minority groups given just a realistic portrayal.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes absolute sense.
I feel like I went a bit too deep with it, but yeah, like I say, it's just a really good film. But I think because it does such a lot for that, for the LGBT community or LGBTQ plus community, I think it's an important film as well. But it doesn't feel like it's trying to make a statement. It's just
here's why it's an important film in my eyes. Released on February 27th in 2018, notable as the first film by a major Hollywood studio to focus on a gay teenage romance.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, that's shocking in 2018 that sort of thing hasn't been talked about more.
No, and I think it was the perfect film to do that. Like I say, because it felt like a more realistic look at this sort of story.
Yeah. You got me intrigued. I want to watch it.
Yeah, and I just think Nick Robson's fantastic. He was in Jurassic World, Everything. Really
he was a little kid in Jurassic World. Well, the older little kid, wasn't he?
Yeah, the older little kid. And there's a great film in called The Kings of Summer, which is a coming-of-age film where 3 teenage boys run away from home and build a fort, essentially, in this forest and live there for the whole of the summer. It's brilliant.
Okay. That's definitely one that I think I'll watch.
Perfect. So, your number 3 then.
So, there's a theme along my next 3 picks. And when I say theme, it's not a theme like that. There's an actor from each of the film that ends up being the main character in the next one, which I thought I quite liked. So you got to try and guess which one it is before I reveal the next film. It's your challenge. Right. So my number 3 choice is a film that was written by Jason Segel. And what I loved most about it is it's based on a genuine, true breakup he had. But instead of sitting there and moping about the situation, he went to his computer and wrote it down because he thought it would make a great story in the future.
Can I guess it?
Yeah.
Is it Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
It is. And
I did not know it was based on a real breakup. That's so cool.
No, you know the scene. Well, the scene where where Kristen Bell's character breaks up with him when he's naked.
Yeah.
That genuinely happened to him, apparently. So instead of sitting there and crying about it, it was like, this is actually a great situation, like funny wise. I'm going to write about it, and the whole movie was based on that.
I do love that scene as well. It cracks me up.
Oh, the whole thing, like, I went back and rewatched it, and this was one that wasn't on my list to begin with. And when I rewatched it, I was like, oh no, this is really a great scene. A great film, sorry. So for those who don't know about it, it's about a composer called Peter who's in a relationship with Sarah Marshall, and then she breaks up with him. And he's absolutely devastated about the thing. He's trying to do everything to get over it, and it's just not working. So he goes on holiday to Hawaii. When on holiday in Hawaii, Kristen Bell's character, Sarah Marshall, is there with her new boyfriend, played by Russell Brand. And it's about him sort of like meeting all these different characters and then forming a little relationship with the reception's member of staff. And it's just a nice little feel-good comedy, but not a situation I imagine, situationally, I imagine a lot of people have been in this, but the idea of trying to get over someone, but them being there constantly, I'm sure a lot of people have had experience with that, whether it be through school or other situations.
Yeah, I think as well, what I really like about Forgetting Sarah Marshall is, as good as Jason Segel is, as good as Mila Kunis is, it's all the side characters that
I was
make
literally
the film.
about to go into, so Mila Kunis is the reception member of staff. Jonah Hill as a massive fan of Aldous Snow, who's Russell Brand's character. He's got a great line, which when I watched it, I couldn't stop laughing at it for some reason the other day. And it was literally, Aldous Snow starts to sing one of his songs, and Jonah Hill's character just taps Peter, Jason Segel's, on the shoulder, sort of signals down and goes, 6:30 to midnight. I just thought it was a great line.
Why 6:30 to midnight?
He gestures down to his crotch.
Oh, right.
It was just a really... I don't think first time I watched it, I got that. Well, I would have got it, but I don't think I picked up on the joke. But then this time I was like, actually, that's a really good line. I love it. So Jonah Hill, you've got Jack McBrayer, who plays a sort of really innocent character who's on his honeymoon with his wife, and she wants to have sex, but he's really unsure about the whole situation. Paul Rudd as Chuck, a surfer guy who's just really insane. Yeah, it's all the other characters that actually really make up this film, and it's brilliant. Really love it.
I just remember absolutely loving it. Is it Daryl?
Daryl? Remind me.
He's the one who's in that religious marriage. He's like, no, it's dirty.
Oh yeah, Jack McBrayer's character. Yeah, the religious, and he gets advice, doesn't he, from Russell Brand's character, and they just start having sex with some chess pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really... love it. Absolutely love it. It really is a great film. For those who haven't seen it, really recommend it. And it's also got a great spin-off called Get Him to the Greek.
It wasn't a spin-off, was it? Is it because they like their characters' chemistry or the actors' chemistry?
No, it was a spin-off. It's Russell Brand plays Aldous Snow.
No way!
Yeah, he plays Aldous Snow, the character he plays in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I didn't
Jonah Hill plays a completely different character, but it is a character that's also still obsessed with Aldous Snow, and it's about getting Aldous Snow. He's just broken up with Sarah Marshall, and they've got to get him to the Greek to perform in this on stage there. And unfortunately, he comes off the wagon, which, like in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, he's teetotal, but then he's off the wagon in Get Him to the Greek, and it's just this ridiculous road trip adventure. But that's a lot of fun, and the music's really great. Genuinely, Infant Sorrow are a genuinely good band.
I can't believe I didn't ever. I've watched obviously both those films, and I don't think I got at the time that it was a sequel or a spin-off.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
I just thought he was playing a similar character.
No, he's playing exactly the same character. And I mean, I really want to see a spin-off, which is the Dracula musical from the end of the film.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned it before. I think I'd like that.
We mentioned it in an unaired episode.
Oh, let's not.
It was an unaired episode. It was our top 5 films one that we had to re-record.
And we also redid our choices because it felt just too flat. Just pretending we didn't know what was
I think people know our little gist now. But originally, in my top 5 films, the Muppet movie was there, which is written by Jason Segel.
Terrible choice.
It's a brilliant choice. At some point, it will feature again in one of my choices. We'll do a top 5 films featuring puppets.
I feel like we need to introduce a veto. I think for once every, I don't know, 5 top 5s, we get to veto someone's choices. Like, no, you're not picking.
I think we should have a card. Like, if we so strongly disagree, we can argue. Like, why the hell have you done that? Like, what is wrong with you? But only if you got valid. You wouldn't be able to do that with the Muppets because you've not seen it.
I'll watch it just so I can say it's shit.
Right, so that's our top 3 choices. Should we move on to number 2?
Correct.
Okay, let's hear your number 2 then.
This film had, I don't know, let me have a look when it came out. Because it recently had like a, 20th anniversary thing.
So like 2000?
Well, I can't remember exactly when it was. Yeah, it must have been 20. Yeah, it was 1999, and it must have had a 20th anniversary in 2019. And they did like interviews with the director, the writer, the cast, and things like that. And it's interesting because when I watched this film, I was like, these feel like real friends. Like there's just a real chemistry between them. They seem to get on. A bit like I said that with Firefly, I could sort of pick up on it, and then I found out they did, and I was like, you could really feel that sort of spirit. It was the same here. And in that 20th anniversary, they all said it was amazing. Like most of them lived together in this like sort of hotel complex. The director or the writer used to pick up, who's now the biggest actor, I guess, in terms of what they've achieved. Used to pick them up every day, and they'd gone like a 4-hour drive. So like there was just there was loads and loads of bonds and connections, and I think it comes across in the film.
Really trying to work out what it is.
Well, the film is, I think, the first big film that Heath Ledger was in, or at least the first big American film.
Okay.
It had.
Is it based on a Shakespeare play?
It is Taming the Shrew, and it is 10 Things I Hate About You.
Now, what's annoying is I've only watched the first like half an hour of this, and I really enjoyed it.
What's wrong with you?
Well, what is wrong with you?
What is wrong? Wouldn't let you watch.
No, what is it with you school teachers putting on a film that people are interested in and never showing the end of it?
Yeah,
it was in school that I watched the first half an hour of this.
I'm not allowed to do that, but yeah, I remember being at school on like the last lesson before Christmas. They'd stick a random film on, but then because it was the last lesson, we'd come back and they'd be like, "No, back to French."
We watched this. Well, yeah, we watched this in French. Like, what's the relevance to French got to do with this?
Doesn't one of them try to speak French?
I don't. Like I said, it was in.
Oh, you'd know if you'd watched it.
Yeah, exactly. I really can't tell you. I've only watched half an hour of the film.
Yeah, it's great. It's based on Taming the Shrew, and I think what's good is it leans on rom-com tropes and then completely sort of shits on them at the same time. So, like for instance, it's sort of a classic conundrum of there's 2 girls in school, one that's very popular, one that's a lot more, I won't say introverted, but she doesn't follow the crowd, and she doesn't get on with people because she's not afraid to speak her mind. And the dad won't let the youngest daughter, the popular one, date. So he comes up with a plan, thinking it'll never happen. And he says if the oldest daughter dates, she can date. So a boy who fancies her, who she doesn't fancy, she fancies someone else, but she knows he likes her. So she sort of says, right, if you can get someone to date my sister, I'll be able to date you.
Oh, okay.
So then they they pay Heath Ledger's character, who's a bit of a sort of bad boy character, a little bit strange himself. They pay him to try and date her and woo her. And that's what happens, and it's about their relationships. Heath Ledger's and Julia Stiles, and then Joseph Gordon-Levitt's, and I can't remember the actress's name. She's called Bianca. But yeah, so they start dating, and like I say, it feels like a very classic cliche rom-com, but there's some like really weird and dark stuff that happens. Like the head teacher or the guidance counsellor is writing an erotic novel at the time. So these kids come in and talk to her, and she's always typing and then she asks for like different words she can use to go in her erotic novel. It's really, like I say, it's all a bit weird and a bit quirky, but it's really good, and it's got a lot of heart as well.
Yeah, that's what you want. I'd say again, this is another one that I'd consider to be a classic rom-com.
So classic, you never watched it.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it's one that it gets mentioned in a lot of top lists for rom-coms out there.
Yeah, I think this will be one. I don't think this is going to be a choice, or any of them apart from number 1 will be a choice anyone's watched, but I'm hoping it's one of those where people go, shit, yeah, it's a great film, I need to watch that again.
No, good choice. I'm annoyed that I haven't watched it. Maybe I will again, like About Time and Love, Simon, go and fish this one out.
I'm about to say, that's what's great about this, though, isn't it? Because it makes you want to. I'm desperate to watch Forgetting Sarah Marshall now. That's going to be one of my weekend films, I think.
Oh, I think the next 2 films you'll be desperate to watch as well. Again, I've got here. But anyway, yeah, great choice. Really wish I could say more about it because I don't know that much about it other than what you've literally just told me now.
Well, in fact, this will be interesting to go through. Maybe we could do like an extra bonus episode. So, have you watched Notting Hill?
Yeah.
Have you? But you've not watched Love, Simon, About Time, or 10 Things.
No.
What were your first 3 again?
You've watched. Oh no, you haven't watched Chasing Amy, have you?
No. So we could do one. Hopefully, if I've not watched your next 2, we could do like a swap episode where we have to watch each other's films we haven't seen and talk about them.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea for a future podcast episode.
There we go.
There we
right.
go.
on to your number 2 then. Let's see if I've seen this one.
So you heard all the characters that were in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
Which one do you think will be the actor who stars in I Love You Man? I've already just told you, haven't I? What the hell did I just do? That was absolutely useless of me. There goes a little
Paul Rudd.
It would be Paul Rudd. Oh, that just ruined all that.
Thank God we've got a Paul Rudd film in there. I love Paul Rudd.
Favourite actor of all time. Spoilers for top 5 actors. Yeah, I Love You Man. I mean,
I love you too.
I think some people will argue that. Sorry, I just kicked the table. I apologise for that. I can't edit that out. I think some people argue that this isn't a rom-com, and I would argue 100% back. It is a rom-com. It is a brilliant film. It stars 2 people who basically end up forming a little bromance. And what's not to love about that?
I would say as well, to your point of how some people might argue it's technically not a rom-com, I'd agree with certain bromance films, like a lot of Seth Rogen ones are on, but this purposely takes all the sort of tropes of a rom-com,
oh, absolutely,
a boy and a girl, and put it into their friendship.
And even at the end, spoilers alert for anyone who's not watched it, but at the end they sort of stop seeing each other and everything, but he's Paul Rudd's character's still pining for Jason Segal's character, and at the end Jason Segal's character does a mad rush to the wedding to be the best man at the wedding. That's just a classic trope.
It's that classic sort of airport scene,
exactly.
Isn't it?
It really does throw so many, like you say, romance classic tropes out there to be in there. And again, this is another film in which the supporting cast is absolutely fantastic as well.
Do you know what? I was just going to make a point on that as well. I can't remember if I was speaking to you about this, or I was listening to another podcast or something like that, but I was hearing about, comedies.
Yeah. Like
Friends, and the way that every episode of Friends works is one of the 6 has to be normal for that episode. Okay. And then the craziness around them and the over the top sort of nature of the characters works because there's one character who's basically the audience who's they're like, what the fuck? They're reacting how you would react if you were in that situation. And it brings that sort of sense of humour, makes it feel a bit more, relatable. Because you're okay, it's not too crazy. That's how I would feel as well.
Yeah.
And Rashida Jones does this in so many comedies where she's the sort of the more rational, normal character.
Well, we talked about it in Parks and Recs, didn't we?
Yeah, and I think she plays that role so well. She does it again here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So for those who don't know the film, it's about Paul Rudd who proposes to his girlfriend Rashida Jones, and he realises when she's sharing the news to all of her friends and family that he's not actually got any close male friends to have as a best man. So it's about his sort of journey to try and find a best man. So first of all, he sort of starts meeting up with random guys. Some of it goes well. In fact, all of it goes wrong completely. They're very awkward situations. But then he eventually meets Jason Segal's character, Sidney Fife, at a what's the word for it? An estate agent open house. That's the word. And they form this little bromance, and it really is quite nice. At one point, Rashida Jones's character really starts to feel like the third wheel, and that's why it really works as the romance side of it. They really do form that bromance here.
Yeah, it's another feel-good film as well, isn't it, I think?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you feel sorry for Paul Rudd. He's like, I've never had a male friend before. All my friends have always been women. So he's so excited to have a male friend. He's trying to impress him, and Rashida Jones is really encouraging their relationship. It's really sweet, isn't it? Yeah. A lot of it.
One of my favourite bits though is when they're talking about friends and everything, and Paul Rudd asks his dad, played by J.K. Simmons, if he's got any friends. He's well, your brother Robbie's my best friend. Him and Hank Muldoon. Just continue. Him and Hank Muldoon. I just really love it.
I didn't know. I can't remember J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons plays the dad. Andy Samberg plays Peter's brother. It's got Jamie Presley in it. It's got Jon Favreau, Lou Ferrigno, Aziz Ansari. Like I said, the supporting cast is actually insane.
This is something that I could have watched 2, 3, 4, 5 different spin-offs of it. You know what I mean? Just keep putting them in different situations.
Oh, yeah.
And it would have worked every time because the chemistry between the 2 actors is just so good in this.
Is there any other films that you can think of where Jason Segel and Paul Rudd are in it? I think there's both in...
Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Yeah, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I think there's both in Knocked Up, weren't they?
Maybe, probably.
But there's not been many films, but they have got a great chemistry.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so that's my number 2 choice. That some may argue, and I'll come at you if you disagree.
You know what? You can fuck off if you say it's not a rom-com, because I think the whole point is it's meant to be a rom-com, but from these two, but from a friendship point of view. And I love that. I think that's clever.
Right, we've got to bear with me a second because I don't know where to put my charger cable, but I haven't plugged it in, and my laptop's slowly dying. Oh, it's right here in front of me.
What's creepy then, when you play that back, is you got quieter as you said it, like it was also...
I was looking around for the cable, that's why. Slowly fading away. Alright, we're all good. I plugged it in. That really wasn't that much panic there. So now we are on to the honourable mentions.
Hold on, I feel like we need a sound effect for honourable mentions from now on.
Do you? We've always got
like, I'll say it like deep, and then I want you to have like a sort of a sound effect alongside it.
Okay.
Like honourable mentions. And then I want some sort of gladiator-like music.
Just so you know, I'm going to play clown music.
Oh, you need like put like a helium effect on my voice. I tried to purposely go really deep and game showy.
Right, should we go for it?
Yeah, I've got 2. So I'm still going to keep the tradition of just talking about one in any detail. So one that I wanted to pick, but I didn't because I didn't think it was rom-com enough, and that's Shaun of the Dead. Even though it's a rom-com zom, as they call it, but I didn't think it was rom-com enough.
No, I would agree. It's got rom-com, but I would agree that really the relationship between Shaun and Liz isn't massively the whole point of it.
No. But great film, and technically they do, they marketed themselves very famously as the rom-com zom film.
Yeah, absolutely.
But because I don't think it is enough rom-com, I didn't pick it. So the one that I picked, and this is one of the rest of the films, I think, objectively, are good films. Maybe not amazing, but I think I've picked so far are objectively, I think, you can say that's a good film. Decent writing, decent acting, all the rest. This, I know, isn't a great film, but I fucking love it.
Okay.
Failure to Launch. Have you ever seen it?
I haven't, but I know it's an absolutely awful. Is it Sarah Jessica Parker?
Yeah, and Matthew McConaughey before his Mahonescence.
Yep.
It's absolutely like it's so bad. Like even the plot line, like he's a 30-year-old who still lives at home, quite successful, but lives with his parents. And Sarah Jessica Parker's character has set up as someone who makes these men who are older men who live at home with their parents still, and she makes them fall in love with her and basically grow up so that they move out, and then she breaks up with them. But the idea is the parents pay them because they want them to move out and they want them to grow up. So that's what Matthew McConaughey's parents do. But as you'd imagine, she starts to fall for him, and he really starts to fall for her. She sort of breaks some of the codes because she's like, I never kiss my clients, I never sleep with them, but she breaks her rules with that, and then as all classic rom-coms do, he finds out, and they have their breakup, and then it's about will they get back together towards the end. So yeah, it's cliche as fuck. The writing's cheesy, the acting's not great, but I absolutely love it.
I think that's fair. Like sometimes with rom-coms, as we said, it's just a great Sunday night, stick it on, relax, enjoyable moment. But it does go to show there really are some insane, ridiculous, like a lot of rom-com plots. They just have this ridiculous situation that you have to overcome, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that's one of them. Have you heard of you probably haven't watched it. I've not watched it, but I've heard of it. A film called A Recipe for Seduction.
No.
So this is the plot synopsis. As the holidays draw near, a young heiress contends with the affections of a suitor who has been handpicked by her mother. When a handsome chef arrives with a secret recipe and a dream, he sets in motion a series of events to unravel her plans. Do you know who the handsome chef is?
No.
The handsome chef is Colonel Sanders.
Oh my god!
Mario Lopez is playing Colonel Sanders in this film.
Love it.
And that actually leads me on. I wasn't going to. Yeah, it's great show. It does lead me on nicely because this wasn't set up, and you wasn't aware this was going to happen again. I've got another quiz round for you, Mike.
Love it. I also hate it because I'm disgustingly competitive, and although there's no winner to this, I need to win.
So what I've done is I've found some movie plots online. And I've, with the help of Reddit, made up some fake movie plots. Mm-hmm. And you're to tell me which ones are real and which ones are fake.
Okay.
Okay.
So how many am I being given?
There's 5 in total.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, number 1. Lucy is practically obsessed with a man named Peter, to whom she's never spoken. After he slips into a coma, Lucy tells Peter's loved ones she is his fiancée, and she's welcomed into the family. Then she falls in love with his brother Jack, and things get even messier from there. Real or fake?
I mean, I'm thinking of, like, is it The Big Sick? And I'm thinking of that, is it Gardens of Heaven?
Big Sick, great film, and nothing
But I'm just
like
thinking
that.
there's quite a few sort of coma romance stories.
Yeah.
I'm going to say real, because that's I'm going to say real.
It is real. It's
Yes!
While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock and Bill Pullman. You can see the competitiveness there. You were genuinely so pleased to get that right.
I'm buzzing.
Okay. Number 2. Nancy becomes a nanny for the children of Darren Philstein, a standoffish Sherlock Holmes-style investigator. While he initially seems to have a heart of stone, they grow closer as she solves the mystery of his heart.
Fucking hell, so cheesy. I'm going to say fake, based on the fact Nancy the Nanny, if someone genuinely wrote that, it pisses me off.
That was me who wrote that, and I hadn't even thought of that for some reason.
Oh, thank God.
I added the Nancy bit, because I felt like I had to include a name. This synopsis didn't have a name, but that was very nicely given to us by Mr. Dragon on Reddit.
Hey, good guy he is.
Mr. spelt with a 3 instead of an E.
Didn't he like lose his house to like a fire or something?
Is that? Did he then marry the dragon? That caused the fire? Or was it just a breakup? He was originally Mr. Dragon, but now he's looking for a divorce.
Yeah, I think it's like really messy. I think like people died and stuff. Like.
Anyway, big thanks to you. Number 3. Neurotic Wally Mars has a bright spot in his life. His friendship with Cassie. When Cassie announces her intention to become pregnant using a sperm donor, Wally thinks he will be the lucky guy, but Cassie has someone else in mind. While drunk at Cassie's insemination party, Wally substitutes his sperm. Gonna just stick with real then? Do you want me to finish it off?
I feel like I've watched it. Has it got Rachel from Friends in? I don't know why I said that rather than Jennifer Aniston.
I'll continue it. So while drunk at Cassie's insemination party, Wally substitutes his sperm for the donors, then passes out remembering nothing. 7 years later, Wally meets Cassie's son, who seems oddly familiar to him. And yes, it's Jason Bateman and Jennifer Aniston in The Switch.
I mean, that is so bad what he does. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I know it's fictional, but I still can't get over that invasion of, I don't know, like he's literally like giving her his seed without her knowing. Like, it's so gross.
It's insane,
weird.
Isn't it? This one.
I can't believe that got. I think if you tried to make that movie today, you wouldn't get it made.
Yeah, although it was only made in 2010. It's not that old.
Yeah, but I do think since 2015, things have changed a lot. Like, cancel culture has become such a bigger thing.
But yeah, that was made though. that does exist in our history.
Do you know what? Not only a weird idea, genuinely not great film. Like, not poor. It's not the worst thing I've seen, but it's not great.
Really?
No.
Right, next one. Josie Geller, a baby-faced junior copywriter at the Chicago Sun-Times, must pose as a student at her former high school to research contemporary student culture. With the help of her brother, Josie infiltrates the inner circle of the most popular clique on campus. But she has a major snag in her investigation, not to mention her own failed love life, when she falls for a dreamy English teacher.
Is this a real film with Drew Barrymore?
It is, yes. Never Been Kissed.
Never watched it, but I've heard of the plot before.
Yeah.
Nice.
Again.
Also, so I mean, it's a rom-com, so I'm assuming the English teacher gets with her.
I'd assume
Does he
so.
get with her thinking it's a student?
See, that's my biggest question, and that's why I included it here, because it's so wrong.
That's a bit noncy, isn't it, that?
Yeah. Right, final one. You're doing very well. See if you can go for 5 for 5.
If not, our podcast ends here. I'm quitting. No pressure.
After a drunken night of exploration, a man accidentally agrees to marry the devil. He must find true love with a living soul before their wedding day to avoid an eternity in hell.
Oh, I've not watched Bedazzled in years, but it reminds me of that. I'm going to say true.
It's false.
Damn it!
Although it makes me wonder, is it Bedazzled? Because you're right. Has someone just given me a plot for Bedazzled? Because again,
I don't think he. I mean, I should have said fake. Cause I don't think he's agreed to marry her. He sold his soul, and the only way.
Oh yes, it's not quite that. Elliot Richardson is a shy man who reluctant to convey his feelings to the girl he loves. observing his sad state, the devil grants him 7 wishes in exchange for his soul. So yeah, different plots. So you didn't get it. That was a synopsis for a fake film called The Devil's Threesome by 4D Forgot Pass.
Nice. So did you put it on Reddit saying, can someone help me come up with some fake?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm going to say a big thanks out to 4D Forgot Past and Mr. Dragon, whose ideas we had here. We've also got Kossala Dodd, Rebecca Caitlin, JCC Wright, Argiorfa, The Last
you
Ronin.
plugged our podcast on this, by the way, when you did it.
No, I haven't done.
Damn it, Michael Ellington.
And _Devan_. Yeah.
Well,
so
go
thank
back
you for those guys.
To it on the thread and link us and say you've been featured on here.
You've been featured. Right, so you got 4 out of 5. That means the podcast ends now. You've been listening to Mike. Thank you and goodbye. No, right.
Honourable mentions.
Yeah, I've got my honourable mention.
How many have you got?
I've got 1.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, I could say 2 because there is another one on my list. I'm going to just say it. The Wedding Singer, great film.
Yeah.
But that's not my honourable mention. My one is, like I said earlier, at the height of the episode, on Reddit, the genres are comedy, horror, musical, romance, sci-fi. Therefore, I feel it's a rom-com, and it's Little Shop of Horrors.
Never seen it.
Have you heard of it?
Yes.
It's a great. It's almost like a parody of the B-era horror films, sort of like Day of the Triffid, and it's about a geeky florist shop worker, played by Rick Moranis, who at a little Chinese shop comes across a plant there that he'd never seen before and he'd not been able to identify. And he calls it Audrey 2 after this girl that he pines over called Audrey. And eventually, like, sort of it starts dying, but it's bringing in customers, so he's trying to keep it alive and everything because people are really interested in this plant and they're coming from far and wide to see it. And he realizes that it likes blood after he cuts himself, and it's like really invested in eating his blood. And then slowly the plot expands and it wants just human flesh all the time, so he has to start killing to feed the plant constantly. And eventually Audrey 2 gets big and giant and so forth, and the plot continues without trying to spoil anything. But it's a great film. It's a remake of a old film back in the 60s that got turned into a musical, and this is the remake of the musical version of it.
By the way, I've never seen it before. I was thinking of, Rocky Horror Show.
Oh, I don't know why, but yeah, maybe. But it's a great film, great cast as well. It's got Bill Murray, who plays I'm going to apologise if I say this wrong, because it's a word that I realised the other day that I've never actually said and just read. Is it a masochist? Someone who enjoys pain. Masochist, there we go. He plays a masochist at a dentist surgery because Steve Martin plays this evil dentist. But Bill Murray's character originally in the original version was played by Jack Nicholson. So it's had big names in it along the way. But yeah, really recommend it. It's a great film. Honourable mention just because I felt a lot of people would argue that it's not a rom-com.
I like it as well because it's a bit weird. It's a bit of an out there choice.
I
like that.
And the songs are genuinely really good. I know you yourself aren't into musicals, but genuinely really good musicals.
Okay. And that leads us nicely onto number 1.
Number 1 indeed. What have you chosen?
This was like one of my favourite films ever when I first watched it. I was so in love with it. And then as I had a bit more distance, I still love it. And it's still, it's still very close to a top 5. Just general film, actually. And that is Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. Okay,
I've not seen it, but I know it came out at a similar time as that other film that's quite similar. I'll let you continue before
you find out what the other film is.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah, it's about this high schooler who, along with his friend Earl, they like to make parodies of sort of classic movies, and they do like stop animation and film themselves in it, and they're like, dreadful, but that's their sort of hobby. I say dreadful, they're sort of, I guess, I don't know, abstract maybe. But yeah, he meets this dying girl who's a classmate who he's not really friends with, but his mum is. Her name's Rach, played by Olivia Cook. and she's been diagnosed with cancer, and he basically feels like he's been forced to sort of hang out with her at first, but then they develop this like really beautiful friendship, and it has like almost none of the rom-com tropes, which I think is great, while still being a romantic film with comedy features in.
So is it a film that's it's like subtle comedy, is it?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, it's definitely I think it's subtle everything. The comedy's subtle, the drama's subtle, the romance is subtle. It's really good. For me, this is about the writing. The I'm not even sure who wrote it. Oh, it's based on a novel. I don't even know. There you go. It's based on a novel by Jesse Andrews. But I'm assuming by the same name, but it's written by the screenplay was by Jesse Andrews. But I think the writing is so kind of short and snappy and humorous and really dark at times, really beautiful at times. I'm seeing. I think what's great is I think oftentimes in romantic comedies, like the protagonist doesn't really grow and doesn't really change, or if they do, it's like really dramatic or stupid. You know, that classic. I can't remember that classic one was called where. Is it called She's All That or something? Where it's like, she's clearly attractive, she just wears glasses.
Yes.
And then she takes off her glasses and everyone's like, oh my God.
Is it Jennifer Lee someone? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And then also the popular girls all love her. Literally just because she's taking her glasses off. It's ridiculous. But anyway.
Which they mock great in, what's that film? Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
With
Brilliant
Captain America in, which is really weird looking back.
Yeah, Chris Evans.
But yeah, Tom Mann, who plays Greg in it, he's the main character, and his sort of growth in it is so good and so real and sort of so deserved. And it's funny, it's heartbreaking, it's just like I say, it is one of the best films I've ever seen. And if you're someone who's sick of typical rom-coms, this is definitely a film for you because it's just so good. And do you know what? Looking back at all these, because what I didn't mention as well about Failure to Launch is it has like Bradley Cooper's like the best friend, not the leading man. It's got is it Glagatha from Vikings and Zoe Deschanel. So it's got all these great side characters. And similar here, this has got loads of good actors. It's got Nick Offerman, Connie Britton, John Berthnell. I can't remember how to say his name. The guy who played the Punisher.
Oh, yeah.
So again, it's got some really, really good side characters and actors who play them to bring them to life, so they don't feel like sort of just background characters, background noise. They feel like they add to the film and the character's progression. It's so good. It's one of the most sort of beautiful films I've ever seen and heartbreaking and everything. And I really couldn't recommend it enough. Like I say, if you've already decided from watching this that you think you've got a similar taste to me, then go out and watch this film. You won't regret it.
Well, I feel like I haven't watched 4 of your films now, so I'm definitely going to have to go out and watch this one. This is so high up.
Oh, I think I have to watch your weird honourable mention, aren't I? Because I've not seen the many of the others. So there you go. That's my number 1 film, and that was a last-minute change-up. I think because in my head I didn't think of it traditionally, but unlike Shaun of the Dead, this is a rom-com.
Yeah.
Its 2 main genres is romance and comedy, 100%.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a rom-com at all, which I think's that's what makes it so great and refreshing.
Well, yeah, Wikipedia describes it as an American comedy drama romance film.
Oh, nice. There you
go. By the way, the film I was thinking of was The Fault in Our Stars, which came out a year before.
Yeah, another great film.
Yeah, it is. First film I went to see with my wife.
Oh, nice.
She didn't cry.
Oh, God.
Heartless. Absolutely heartless.
Were you, like, blubbering?
Oh, yeah. We know I'm a blubbering mess when it comes to
Was it the first time she'd seen you cry as well, then?
Quite possibly. I might have hit it. I might have hit it back then. But, yeah. I get really invested in films and TV shows. All right, good choice. Yeah, I'll definitely have to watch it. It sounds interesting. But I think I ignored it because I did see a similar film about someone dying with leukemia not that long prior. So... sort of just dismissed it. It's like I don't need another leukemia story in my life, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Right, you're number 1. I'm excited.
Number 1 might be a film you've heard of, probably not a film you've seen.
Nice.
And what I love about it is this quote sums it up perfectly. Okay, so the film is about one of those infinite time loop situations you might have heard about, and that's a quote by the main character Andy Samberg, and it's a film called Palm Springs.
I've been desperate to watch this for so long.
It's genuinely insanely good. I didn't fit like when I watched it, wasn't expecting to put it on my list, and then I watched it and I was like, well, this is number one. This is easily the best rom-com I've seen. So for those who don't know,
what? If there's Groundhog Day type films are another one of my obsession genres, along with sort of fugitive films.
Yeah, see, this does a really good job. I wouldn't say of flipping it on the lid, because it really does take that, but it does a really good job of giving it a new life, if you will. Because, yeah, there's a lot of those type of genres out there, especially now. There seems to be a revitalization of them, like with Happy Death Day to You and stuff like that.
Which are great films, by the way.
Yeah, I've never actually watched them. I recorded them the other day because it's on Sky. So I'm going to watch them. But yeah, so this is, for those who don't know, it's a film starring Andy Samberg and Kristen Milotti, and also J.K. Simmons, who also featured in I Love You Man. And they go to a wedding, and Andy Samberg's character helps stops a cringe fest of Kristen Milotti's wedding speech. So they sort of form a little sort of friendship, and they go off to sort of have sex. But then an absolutely surreal event happens, and they both then wake up in the morning, and it's the same day again, like literally restarted.
Is he already in the time loop before?
I was about to say, so Andy Samberg's character's already in the time loop. Kristen Milotti's character's not experienced this and has no idea what's going on. Hence the quote, "Oh, it's one of those infinite time loop situations you might have heard about." Which I think genuinely, that's all they really say about it. They know that they don't need to spend much time explaining why it happens or anything like that. And it's just about how these two characters slowly fall for each other. And you said about how in Mia and the Dying Girl, how the character sort of, it has a nice little character arc and it doesn't seem forced. I'd say this happens with Andy Samberg's character, because he definitely changes the way he is. However, you also know that they could have been in this situation for years upon years and years. So there's a reason why his character's evolving and changing. And he sort of realizes that because his life isn't great, so it's very, very early on you sort of realize this. His girlfriend is actually cheating on him at the wedding, and he knows this. So he's got no interest in being with her, so he sleeps with other people during his time on the island and stuff like that. Not on the island, in Palm Springs. But he slowly realizes actually this is just this one girl that he wants to be with now. And it's just a really nice rom-com.
Do you know what? Although it'd be a bit of a dark ending, because it'd mean like they couldn't have kids and stuff. All these, Groundhog Day films get resolved with when the central character learns their lesson and become a better person.
Mm-hmm.
I would love one of them to be brave and go, no, that's it, they're just stuck forever, but they're sort of okay with it. Rather than like, oh, I've become a better person and now it stops. I've become a better person. And as a result, I don't mind staying here because I'm happy with my sort of lot. I think I would almost like that dark twist to it.
So this one semi goes along that route.
Oh, nice.
Semi. I will say now they do get out the time loop, but
well, I knew they would. Like I say, it'd be quite a dark end. Really, you have to mean like I say you'd never grow old. You could never die, because often that's one of the things they try in these sort of Groundhog things, isn't it? They
die numerous times, and one of the characters is actually, so J.K. Simmons' character is a character who Andy Samberg accidentally sort of gets involved in this time loop situation as well, but he lives miles upon miles and miles away, so he only appears every now and again and kills Andy Samberg's character in the worst possible way. But what Andy Samberg's character says is, all of that pain you feel, so he whenever he dies, he tries to get it done as quickly as possible, because otherwise he is feeling that pain and it's very much real, which I quite like. They sort of really go aggressive with that sort of side of it. But yeah, it's a film that not many people would have heard of. Like I said, it was only released last year, but it's insanely good.
Do you know what else I'd like them to do with a Groundhog Day?
Go on.
They're always fit and in perfect health. Like, would it be interesting and shit at the same time to see someone on a Groundhog Day loop who's just had like a vasectomy? So it's not like they can like run about and do loads of shit.
Oh, just confined to their bed, just trying to just in so much pain.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They're always fine, aren't they? You know what I mean? They're on a good day.
Yeah, that would be quite a bold stance, but also very boring for a film.
Yeah, but this is why I don't make films, clearly, isn't it?
Yeah, I want a film where it's not interesting in the slightest. I want to see a man trying to get out of bed and just realising his testicles are still aching and get back into that bed.
I had an idea for a film at uni, which was such a good idea. I even started writing the script for it, and someone had fucking made it. It came out like a year later. Have you ever heard of the film? I think it's called Boyhood or just Boy.
Yeah.
Where it was filmed over this real boy's life. And I was like, someone fucking already done it. And I was like, damn it, that's such a good idea I had.
I've done it. It's also a BBC documentary.
What do you mean? About how they made it, you mean?
No. There's a BBC documentary in which they've followed these 10 people since the age of 1 year old, and they're 70 now. But every couple of years they go back to their life. Did you not know this exists?
No.
I'll see if I can find it.
Well, yeah, I meant a fictional thing.
Oh yeah, I know you did.
Well, to be fair, mine was more like a series of films, because I thought you could grow up with the characters. You had to be do a sort of typical high school, rom-com film when the actors are 15, 16, whatever, and then come meet them in their early 20s again when they've just, in college, just finished college, whatever, then in their 30s, and, so the actors have all grown and changed and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be such a cool idea.
Unfortunately.
Someone make that.
Yeah. Right, so those are our top 5 and honourable mention rom-coms.
No. We're not leaving until you tell me the name of this BBC thing, even if it takes us all night, Michael.
I just stopped Googling it. BBC documentary... Right, we'll stop talking now, and I'll try and find it.
No, I want this awkward filler where you're like... BBC, no, not this one.
Oh, I think I found it. It's called Up.
You mean, that's an animated film?
Up series of documentary films follows the lives of 14 British individuals since 1964 when they were 7 years old. The first was titled...
Turn out to be criminals.
I don't know, I've never watched it myself. But the first was titled 7 Up, and they've gone through each time. Which are they on now? They're on 63 Up, and that was on in 2019.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I'll ever watch it, but...
It's a lot of... If you're invested from the beginning, you may as well continue, but... Yeah.
Right, nice one. Anything to plug? Do we want to do a competition for this
We can do a competition. We've designed something recently, so why don't we offer them as a competition?
Let's do it.
So, would you like to not you, Mike, the listeners out there, like to win a Mammon pen and notebook? A personalised notebook at that.
It looks sick.
I think you would. So on Facebook and Twitter, we'll show you the prizes when this episode gets released. So have a look at there. And what we'd like you to do is like our page, share the Facebook post, and comment on it with your top rom-com of all time. And you could be in with a chance of winning these pen and notebook.
If you tell me that you watched Me, Earl, a Dying Girl based on my recommendation and enjoyed it, I may put your name in twice into our draw.
I may take it out again until I watch it and agree with him. But for the time being, I might take it out again.
I need more people to have seen it.
But if you've watched the Muppet movie, then I will put your name in 3 times.
The Muppet movie will never be considered a good film. I will die on this hill, and I've never seen it.
Oh dear. Yeah, so give us a like, share our status, and comment on it, and you could be in with a chance of winning these exciting prizes.
Also, I feel like we should do some sort of bet where if you lose, you've got to get a Muppet tattoo.
So we'll pull someone else out of the hat, and they're the loser, and they get a Muppet tattoo.
Yeah.
Okay, I look forward to that. I love the fact that the loser is actually the second winner; it's the runner-up.
What about... no, here we go. I'm going to think of a number between 1 and 1 million. I'm going to say it on here, but you're not going to put the number in, obviously. And if someone guesses it alongside, you've got to get the Muppet tattoo.
But no one's going to guess, unless they really... Only those who really, really want to get a Muppet tattoo will be the ones who guess.
No, you have to, Michael Ellingham, get the tattoo.
Oh, I have to.
Come on, commit to this. Because they're never going to get it, surely. And I'm not going to go for, like, a small number, so it's going to be, you know what I mean?
Okay, it scares me.
Okay.
I really hope you don't have 100 followers now. You suddenly comment 1 to 100. Right, can we put a thing on this?
What?
You're only allowed to guess on Facebook between the 14th and the 20th.
And you can only have one guess.
Of February 2021.
And only one guess, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with...
Okay. I think...
Is that even a real number? I kind of got lost in saying stuff.
Hold on. Is it between 1 and a million you went with?
Yeah.
Then yes, it is a number.
Are you still a bit nervous, even though you know it's never
I am
gonna
still,
happen?
yeah, I've got a 1 in a million chance of having a Muppet tattoo right
I
now.
hope you're really committed to this, by the way. You genuinely got to get one.
I will do it if someone guesses that number.
Oh, man, please. I really
It is
hope.
here on the podcast. I will do it.
Do you know what? We should do something like this each week where we take it in turns, where we come up with, like, where they've got to guess and interact with our social feed. But if someone ever does get it, we've got to do whatever we've said we'll... Should we do that? So you get to pick my sort of punishment and the guess thing next week.
I feel like the punishment more should have been for you to get the Muppet tattoo, to be fair.
Well, maybe you just get
I'm a fan of the Muppets movies.
Yeah, it won't hurt you as much.
No. If there's any tattooists out there, I apologise for saying this, but I really, really hope that tattoo parlours stay closed. I hope they never succeed after COVID.
Oh, mate, I'll find someone who can come to your house and do it, I promise. Okay, right. We will see you all, hopefully, next week.
I've realised what we haven't done.
What?
We've said like us on Facebook and whatnot, but we haven't actually said where to find us. So you can find us on Facebook, the Mammon Podcast. Just give it a search. On Twitter, @Mammon Podcast. Or you can email us at... What's our email address? mammonpodcast@hotmail.com. Give us an email if you've got any ideas for any other shows that you'd like to hear us do. We've had a few more suggestions. One of them you won't like.
What is it?
It's theatre and musical shows, but I know you're not a fan of them.
Well, I think I could cobble together a top 5.
Yeah?
If you could count the musicals films as well.
I'd count them for you.
Well, I'm not going to spoil it. Yeah, I could do it. I'm not a massive fan, but I reckon I've got 5 that I've enjoyed somewhat.
There'll be one for the future.
Yeah.
What else have we had? With top 5 drinks. I think I mentioned that last week, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, people are emailing in with their suggestions, so just keep that up. And also, drop us an email with your top 5 list. We'd love to see what your top 5 rom-coms are. See if there's any crossovers. See if there's any that we haven't watched and we're interested in.
Or if not, you can always fax us at Mammon Podcast.
Our new thing is that you got a fax machine in the background there.
I bet you can research a fax noise. I don't even know what a fax noise is.
Faxes don't make noises these days.
Did they back in the past?
I think they made the sound of a modem, didn't they? I can't make that noise.
That sounds like what I'd imagine a bomb exploding on Mars would sound like in a cartoon.
You're like so much younger than me. You probably don't know what modem is.
Yeah, I do. I had AOL.
God, those were the days, weren't they?
Those were the days. Yeah. I remember my cousin made a forum. When they first kind of started.
Yeah. The olden days of the internet.
Ever, yeah.
I read a thing. It's like back in when the internet first came out for us, it was genuine. Each website was like so unique. Now there's just like 5 websites out there that you use, and that's it.
I know.
And it's very true. Have you ever seen the Space Jam website?
No.
It's identical to how it was back in '96 when the film came out. It hasn't changed. This is Mike now typing away, having a look.
Do you know what you talk about? You have 5 websites, you don't use any more. I think part of that as well is because the internet scares me way more now than it did back then. Oh my god, it really is old.
Yeah, it hasn't changed, and the site's still up, and I love it.
So good. Someone got paid some decent money for that as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which makes me laugh because a child could do this.
It's
in
absolutely
primary
awful.
School, I bet.
Have a Google now, guys. It's awful. Probably hasn't got a mobile website.
Right, let's go, and I will see you.
That's how you end a podcast. Right, let's go.
Right, I'm bored now.
See you later, guys. Speak to you later. Yep. Cheers. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Get your guesses in. I want that tattoo to happen.
Yes. And we also, I'll say it on the height of the episode now, apologise if there's not an episode next week. When this episode comes out, I said it last week, but it didn't happen. But when this episode comes out, I should have a baby here. So we might be a bit lucid with the episodes to begin with.
Or we'll get more done because they sleep all the time.
Yeah.
You're just up all the time.
Well, yeah, Lauren has said she doesn't mind me still doing this, so lucky us. Maybe she just wants to get me away. Maybe she's just like, you're going to be awful looking after this baby. You fuck off for 2 hours and record your podcast.
Let me have some peace and quiet from you.
But yeah, I just want to apologise now, but we will try our best to get an episode out if we can.
And also, definitely congratulations. This will be our longest shit show rambling at the end. So.
Oh, definitely.
What should we say? What emoji can they put in that proves they've been on it? put the wizard emoji or the star emoji if you got to the end to prove you did. No,
Yeah.
no reference. We'll know.
Yeah,
We'll know if we
yeah.
see that emoji.
Get a shout out next week. That's what we'll do. We'll shout you out if you do that.
Yeah.
But hopefully not too many of you have done that then. I really hope this is where we're going to get like 500 people suddenly. All of the followers suddenly appear for this episode.
I'd commit though, even if it was like 20 minutes of the podcast.
But we'll just have an episode shouting everyone's names out. Right, yeah. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon, everyone. Bye.
Bye.